What has surprised me? The force, I suppose, of Kim and the teachers. They are inspirational, and they're oozing energy and enthusiasm that I don't think without Kim and the teachers it would crumble.
I really think Kim sets a tone here that is so special. Just right from the get-go, this kind of, the things that stand out to me are just this, we all make mistakes kind of philosophy, and we're working through those, and this admitting that we're not supposed to kind of have this perfect standard, that we're just figuring things out.
So love for me is being willing to grow and change so someone else can. That's how I understand love. It's not a feeling, it's a discipline. And it's really hard. It's about humility and being open to change and adjust and give up hard-won beliefs about things. When people talk like it used to be so easy, yeah, it's because there was less critique of the existing system. But as a child, I felt imposed upon all the time. I was very aware of it. And I did it because I wanted to be loved in that sense, right? So that, the notion, like Nell Notting's stuff about care and attention, and yeah, when like even Simone Weil talks about, right, like love is attention. And when you pay attention and then you start to notice things, then it's multiplicity and it's all those other pieces we're talking about. And notice rhythms, that no one's just one thing. I'm not just one thing. I'm sometimes and other times, and I didn't even know that about myself, and right?
When I was here, my mom left and I didn't cry at all. I was really happy, and Kim took care of me and my sister Ayla, and we were both really happy the first day. We were so excited to come here.
When the Me Too movement happened, I almost was immediately struck with how schools completely take consent away from children. I always loved children, so I wanted the best for them. That, however, made me more aware of the need for consent, that they need to consent to taking up learning or making choices.
You ask Kim if you could do something else. She would say that we could maybe do a bit of like free play or something, and then go to that, and then do that.
I think for children, that's where trust comes from. The other part, though, that's really interesting is every child, I'm pretty sure I can say this confidently, every child whose family I've visited. So families that have said, we have questions or we'd like to talk to you. And I say, well, would you be comfortable with inviting me over for dinner? Because my family's not here. I'm pretty lonely. And so that's great for me. And then you can ask away what you're wondering about or worried about, and I've done like over 30 visits like that. And every time the child is different afterwards. A lot of people comment that it's unique that I will just do that I'm not afraid to do that as well, maybe. I don't know. But that's something else that's built trust, I think.
Kim particularly has this gift of, she's just wide open to anyone who comes into her path, and has this insane energy that would exhaust, I think, anyone. But because of that, she's able to absorb these different forms of communication, these different histories of kids that come into the path of families, and allow them to be them while gently steering.
When I think about the school and what Kim and her staff and families and children are doing here, I also think this is one way of doing this work.
I think there is absolutely no one-size-fits-all definition, which I always believed cognitively. I think here I'm learning how hard that is to accept and how diverse humans really are. I don't think I realized that with young children, when you say be yourself and they really believe you, it is so messy. And in the midst of that, it's sort of my undoing, like, oh, this is tiring to be attending to all these different humans and what they need, and trying to create rhythms and structures, because you have to have them, but that are honoring the most people. And then allowing some of the children to be kind of off grid and doing their own thing, right? That inclusion, I think I am deepening my understanding of that notion, right? That inclusion for some humans is actually being left to figure it out for a while. The other piece I'd add to it is that I'm really understanding, I've studied servant leadership and been very curious about it. And there are people like Jean Vanier who have been mentors that I've looked to in their writing, but also in how they live their life, in their kind of influence and the way that they've been able to change some social norms. And it's often in this very, I'm not even gonna call it strategic. It's not. They're doing their own work inside, and it just can't help but emanate from how they respond to other people in situations in a not defensive way, there's a softness that I want to develop more of. Coming here was really hard. And at least there I had stuff, and my family was there, and I knew the place, and I had friends, and I could do things. And that makes me emotional because it's a hard thing to let go of. So for me personally, I think that's the hardest part, is recognizing this as a huge gift to me. And it's just, for me, it's the transition. So talking about kids in transition, ironically, it's me. I'm very intrigued by Rod's leadership.
History has a way of recreating itself, right? And bureaucracies and structures are self-replicating, and they're so hard to break out of that. So one of my worries at the beginning was this, although it was a bold idea and a bold vision, would start to look increasingly like every other place. And so it hasn't, and that's the power of Kim and her work and the staff that works here, of holding to the vision. And it's so easy to sort of snap back and to slide back into old practices and let bureaucratic requirements grind you down and grind the edges off a beautiful vision. And this team here has so refused to allow that to happen. It's been remarkable.
A lot of it was, he's the kind of person who doesn't need to win. He just wants to see and try, and that's very unusual in education. He's willing to get in the arena and take risks, and he doesn't talk about it. And he never rescued me. And even in the fall and stuff, I'd be like, I can't believe no one's coming here to I've never been a principal before. But it was all intentional. You guys figured out, like, that trust.